Paul Adams reporting. We can speak now to John Green, who is Director of Development at the global seafarers charity Stella Impero. John, thank you very much for joining us. Tell us more about the work that your charity does, first of all.
So we're the largest seafarers welfare charity in the world. In just over 300 ports, we've got teams of chaplains who'll visit ships to look after both the practical needs of seafarers, transport ashore, helping them to get in touch with family, but also to provide emotional support for them in times of difficulty.
Tell us how this latest seizure of a vessel in the Gulf will be affecting other seafarers in that region.
Well, it's not only other seafarers. When we think of the crew on board this ship, immediately one comes to mind their family, their children back home, and the huge amount of worry that will be going through the family as well as the crew on board. It's the situation of the crew that's particularly tragic in this moment, that in the middle of an international conflict, seafarers are being exposed to military actions that have nothing to do with their professional work.
What are the protocols for a crew on board a vessel that finds itself in this situation?
Well, this particular situation echoes the piracy crisis of Somalia about 10 years ago. And not only for those ships that themselves were affected by the piracy attacks, many seafarers coming through the region on other ships that weren't attacked, actually they were going to be a lot more worried. So similar protocols. And what we saw in the piracy crisis there was the escorting of vessels by warships, ships travelling in convoys. That did a lot to reduce piracy attacks in that occasion.
But if it happens to you, if people do board the vessel, be they pirates or, as we've seen in this instance, masked men descending from a helicopter, what is the advice to a crew?
Well, this is one of these situations, really, that I think crew can be very unprepared for. Seafarers tend to be very resilient people, but the tragedy here is that they're caught between a geopolitical conflict that they may or may not be prepared for.
So let's hope that everything works out fine. They get back to shore. How does your charity help?
So in situations like this, or where there's other difficulties, maybe somebody's died on board, or there's other problems on board, our port chaplains in subsequent ports will be waiting for this ship and for this crew to dock there, and we'll provide them with emotional support and a debrief alongside what the company may want. It's going to be a very stressful time for them, but not only for them, also remembering their families. So back in the labour supply countries, we'll also stand ready to help seafarers and their families in any form of difficulty.
And what form does that take, that kind of support?
Well, it can be professional counselling, but also very much just standing alongside the family at this time, helping them to get accurate information about what's going on. It's going to be a long process and a long journey, both for these seafarers and the family, I suspect.
John Green from the seafarers charity Stella Impero, thank you very much for talking to us.